Just because you start out one way and you have a losing record doesn't mean you have to live the rest of your life that way. You can reinvent yourself, even right now.
Welcome back to the show. Before we officially get started, I just want you guys to know how much I missed you. All right. It's been a couple of weeks now that I, on purpose, took some time away from the channel to just relax, to just reflect. It's been one of the first times in the 7 or so years that I've been doing content that I took the opportunity to be able to do that outside of a medical condition or outside of a family member's death, right? I just took purposeful time to just sit, to reflect with my friends, my family, my loved ones, right? To enjoy the holidays and Happy New Year. Along with that reflection, I look forward towards the new year. There's many of us that have not made it into the new year, but here we are. So within that reflection, I've taken the time to really write down what it is that I want to accomplish, where it is that I want to go. And I have so many amazing ideas that honestly put a smile on my face to think about where this platform is going to go, the people that I want to help, the value that they will receive. And I hope that each and every one of you have taken an opportunity to see how it is that you can win in 2026. Also, I've been going back in the archives and looking at a couple of older videos that piqued my interest back into the day and I thought would be a value add to contribute into the conversation or discussions that we have up on here. And I had to go back to the late, great Kevin Samuel's YouTube page to bring this one out into the forefront. He did a live stream discussion in his car back into the day. Now, this content is like 7 years old, where the topic of his conversation was about reinventing yourself. Even when I think about years ago when I first started this channel, I have reinvented myself so many times in order to try to create the success that I'm seeing today. And I kept my nose to the ground within that reinvention and even did things that people didn't think that I should do. And the fruits of those labor is being paid out with exceptional dividends today. But within this concept of reinvention, especially amongst men, it is so critical. It is so key. I mean, again, years ago, I was up on this channel with like a do-rag on and a hoodie and a big hoodie on, all right? Talking to you guys from a place of authority. And now look, the things that I've gone on a path to try to improve and how much more people that I can reach because of the concept of reinvention. I want you guys to look at the video with me that we're about to watch. And as you create your goals, right, for next year, think of the concept of reinvention. Don't think of yourself as the person that you see in front of the mirror right now, but of the person that you aim to be into the future and execute towards that ascension. All right, guys, let's get active on this one. Without further ado,
Let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Welcome back.
his old intro was trash.
If you've ever watched Chris Rock's special talking about how come every woman you meet who's shy is never from the same hometown that you meet her in? She moves away to get shy. I mean, because she was a hoe in another town. Winners reinvent themselves.
Come on.
This has been shown over and over and over and over throughout history. It's called branding and marketing. Just because you start out one way and you have a losing record doesn't mean you have to live the rest of your life that way. You can reinvent yourself, even right now. Someone on the live stream last night, when I was talking about appearance, image, and corporate America, asked the question about, what if you have a criminal history? What do you do then? You reinvent yourself. You reinvent yourself by, first of all, acknowledging the rules of the game. See, this is where most guys screw up. Most guys, and in general, brothers in particular, we would rather keep it real and keep fighting
What works.
And doing stuff the hard way.
Right.
Versus saying, you know what, there's a more direct path.
Yep.
And the direct path is reinvention. Today, I've had more people to compliment me on my suit. Man, I love the suit you're wearing. I love the suit you're wearing. Guys, I am wearing a white shirt and a blazer. I'm wearing dark jeans. But it looks to, at first glance, even if you stand there and look at me like I'm wearing the suit, I reinvented my version of dressy casual.
Yeah.
What does that do? That means for me, when I go out and just do my regular activities, just like you, living your life, people open it. If I don't have to stand in lines, people tend to open another register. I get served first. I get asked questions. People treat me with more respect because I carry myself in this manner. But let's say you come from a background where you're poor, broken family, bad history, poor credit. Guess what? You're just an American like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But you can make the decision to reinvent yourself. Start with the fundamentals. Realize that life is a game.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the series The Game of Thrones, you play to win because the penalty is death. If you're going to reinvent yourself, you got to sign up and say, here are the rules. Okay, know the rules of the game. Image counts. Perception is reality.
Yep.
Everyone has an opinion.
Yep.
You get your own facts. When you start to reinvent yourself, you're going to have to start separating yourself from friends and family members and so-called loved ones who want you to keep it real or stay on that same level because they had the issue, not you.
Come
you
on.
will be called sellout.
Come on.
Whatever. But let me tell you, those terms only exist in one segment of society.
Yeah. Life is essentially a video game on the hardcore setting. You get one shot at it, and depending upon the family that you grew up in is going to determine whether or not you're playing on easy setting or very difficult difficulty setting. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now. But throughout all of that, and especially for men, the world owes you nothing. It is only up to you and no one else but yourself to create the reality that you want. And irrespective of everyone around you being perpetual complainers, if you were raised in a first world country in this timeline, you have more of a shot than 99.9% of all of the humans that have ever existed. 300 years ago, you break your arm and they cut your arm off. Nowadays, they'll get nano robots to suture the wound. The access to information, the internet, and AI puts you in a class and a category where more now than ever, you can do it. What I also love about this conversation of reinventing yourself is that this was not even Kevin's final form. He reinvented even beyond this. This was still his nose ring era. And he wasn't even doing the blazer jean combo in the last couple of years of his life. He reinvented himself even beyond this. And this is when he used to just talk to men. And the reinvention beyond this had him achieve his goal of becoming famous. Let's go.
It's all about somebody was talking about the accessories. The accessories, yeah, as far as for my style personality, they do make a difference. It's really about fit. Fit does more than anything else. But as you're reinventing yourself, give yourself room to make some mistakes. Look, you can't reinvent. I'm not saying go extreme, like a woman does a weave. You know how sometimes you'll see a woman with short hair, and next thing you know, she'll have long weave down the back of her neck. No, you need to do it in steps.
Increments, yeah.
You need to do it in steps. First thing you need to do is reinvent the way you look at you. What do you think of you when you look in the mirror? What do you see? Most guys don't see a strong man. They don't see a good man. They don't see a leader. They don't see someone who's intelligent, attractive, or competent. They just see Rob. They just see James. No. Who is James? Is James just the dad? Is James just a painter? Is James just an accountant? Or is James a modern sexy savage who survived trials and tribulations, stuff that will make most people panic and give up to get to where he is right now? And he's done it with grace, dignity, and something to be respected and admired. It's all in the story you tell yourself.
Yep.
So write down your story. What is your story? Let me give you an example of me. I am not the things that happen to me. I am how I choose to respond to those. I'm a Black man born in 1969. I born to a single parent household. My father had 13 kids now. Grew up in the projects. I was skinny. I was a really cute kid, but that came with its own burden. People thought I was didn't know if I was a boy or a girl until I was, 8 or 9 years old. A lot of times when people say, your daughter looks nice, they used to piss me off. I had a gap in my teeth. I wasn't particularly strong. But and these are all the things that I could have latched onto.
Right.
People made fun of me.
He didn't want to be a victim.
But I was also smart at school. I could draw well. And I was good in math and science. I lived in the projects, but the projects didn't find me. Can you reinvent your reputation? Yes. Yes, you can. It's done every day. Look at former President Barack Obama. He wrote an entire book about his life. I did coke, I smoked weed, I was this, I was that. The United States is a very forgiving country. Black community in particular, what can't be forgiven is just outright lying to people. If you are a drug dealer, or if you've been on drugs, own it. If you're a former alcoholic, own it. If you're a reformed simp, own it. I'm gonna give you an example. You guys ever watch O'Shea Duke Jackson's broadcast? He always talks about himself. I'm ugly, I got a big nose, I got such and so forth. Remember the movie 8 Mile with Eminem? The best thing he did in that rap battle was he said, I'm poor, I'm white trash, my girlfriend is a slut, my mama's a freak, I'm broke, I'm this, I'm that, I'm all these other things, but I'm here. Now tell these people something about me that I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, you can reinvent your bad reputation.
The natural difficulty within this, especially within a community where at least what's popularized is not being smart, not being educated, not being well-spoken, not being intelligent. What you often find is that the individual will try to latch on to components of that in order to feel cool, to feel represented, to feel like you have a tribe, to feel like you have a community, as opposed to recognizing your own individual strengths and then building up off of that. I had a strong father within my life, which I know for many men that look like me did not grow up with one. But with that father, he directed me away from that groupthink to really have me critically think and analyze what benefit are all of those societal norms towards me. And I ain't perfect, but I went on a path from young of self-discovery because I knew that above all, I wanted to be happy in life. I wanted to win in life, and I wanted to mitigate my risk within life of not achieving those inherent goals. And I always understood that what got me here won't get me there. So within that is the spirit of reinvention. If you were the same person at 40 that you were at 30, that you were at 20, you're doing something wrong. Having a spirit of continuous learner throughout your reinventions is the key to success within life. Let's go.
Look at your current president. How many times has that man filed bankruptcy? How many times has he been married? How many horrible things? How many things, whether or not you like Donald Trump, you can at least draw something from each story. But the question that you ask, I'm gonna use you an example, already tells me what you think about yourself. If you look at those things as hindrances, so will everyone else. Instead of looking at those things as being bad, look at those things as, hey, what you learn from it. Somebody give me an example of a bad reputation. I mean, tell me what you say, can you reinvent a bad reputation? A reputation for what? Everything has a silver lining.
There's some upper limits.
Everything.
But
what you can't reinvent is a victim mentality.
Like
it takes a moment of clarity, a personal epiphany that every person has to have. And on this channel, it's men in particular. It's when we decide to take ownership and say, you know what? That happened to me, but it doesn't define me. That may be what happened, but that's not who I am. And then you reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself. But you have to reinvent how you look at yourself.
Yeah.
And so why is image important? You carry yourself the way you look at yourself. That is a hard pill for most people to swallow. That means most people don't think a lot of themselves. Men take care of what we value. That's why you see somebody when they get a new car, they're washing it all the time. Get a new home, it's crystal, but we take care of ourselves. So look, reinventing yourself starts with a couple of things. Understanding the image is important. Start with the guy in the mirror. If you're a big guy, take control of your weight. Take control of your weight. Start exercising. Well, first off, go to the doctor. Get a checkup. Find out everything that's going on with you. Write it down. Hire a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Start with your weight. Then start with your wardrobe. Involve other people because you have to be accountable to other people. Why do most guys not hire a personal trainer? It's not because you can't afford it. It's because you know you're full of shit and you're not gonna work out anyway.
And what's crazy is that this is before AI. I mean, personal trainer, if you don't know how to lift the weight, for sure. But now you can create workout plans utilizing AI. I mean, shit, you can go to the doctor and put screenshots of your test results in the AI in order to get recommendations of how to change your lifestyle or your diet. It's insane the amount of information that we currently have access to for free. But Kevin brings up such a fantastic point because the grind don't mean nothing unless your health is in check. Your health never receives priority until that check engine light comes on. I just recently went through all of my different doctors just to schedule things. I got an upcoming appointment with my oncologist, right? Just to get a yearly check-in, and what I've been doing since I was diagnosed. I just got a cardio doctor appointment just to check because I have a history of heart disease within my family. I got my yearly physical already scheduled. I'm taking and tying and just ensuring that there's no markers that are out of line or out of shape from a preventative perspective, right? Like I actually just wrote down in my my yearly goals that I'm gonna cut out all candy because your boy got a little bit of a sweet tooth and sugar is ridiculously bad for your body. Because I know one thing's for sure, I, as well as you, shouldn't be working as hard as what you're doing within a given day, within a given week, within a given month, or within a given year to not live long enough to enjoy the fruits of your labor later on in life. Let's go.
You don't want to pay some money to somebody who's going to hold you accountable. So as men, you show me your wallet and I'll show you your priorities. If you're really serious about getting yourself together and reinventing yourself, you can reinvent your body, your image, your mind, but you're going to have to put money into it. Money is the measure of a lot of men. How many times, and if you don't think so, notice how many times people go to a place to get a motivational speech or hear some rah-rah. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm cool. As soon as they say, hey, we need some money to help this cause continue to go, only the people who are really, really bought in to their dream, doing something better, will put their money where their mouth is. Same thing with us individually. When you want to reinvent yourself, the easiest thing to start with is your wardrobe. It's the easiest thing to start with. Because if you're overweight and out of shape, you cannot get your body into shape overnight. If you're not where you want to be as far as your skills, you cannot educate yourself overnight. You can improve the way you present yourself overnight with what you have in your wardrobe. Reinventing yourself is so critical, so key, because men, whether we like it or not, whether it's not whether we like it or not, whether the world wants to admit it or not, the world is a better place when men are on their A games. And men have been kicked around so much in the last 40 years to where men are walking around shells of themselves. Yeah. I did it too. You know, that's why you hear all these simp stories where guys were living life, then we ended up getting off track, you know, made some bad decisions, had some mishaps, some misfortunes, and then a lot of us beat ourselves up about those things. A lot of us are our own worst critic. A lot of us are hard on ourselves. Is discipline more important than motivation? No, they're both, it's not either or. See, a lot of us as men, we're very black and white. It's not either or. It's like saying, is your personal image more important than your physical body? As men, we don't do that. They're both important. It's a matter of prioritization. What can you do first? Motivation helps a lot of people get to the point to where they need to work, and then they need discipline to continue. See, some people are great at getting shit started, but horrible on follow through and consistency.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree with Kevin here. I think that in the priority of motivation and discipline will trump motivation 10 times out of 10. There are very highly motivated people that are idea generators. An idea is worth shit. It's the execution and the discipline to execute that's worth its weight. Motivational seminars make a lot of money because it feels good to be motivated. It feels good to hear people being accomplished and what it is that they did in order to achieve, and you thinking like you can do it. But it's way harder to sell discipline. It's way harder to sell execution. It's way harder to sell consistency. There's a lot of people that might hear how much a influencer or a content creator makes, and they could be motivated to do so. Then they start doing it, and then they may lack the discipline to keep the consistency within the uploads. And at the point that it becomes difficult, that motivation may begin to tank. But if you're high in discipline, then you're going to persevere through it.
And continue to beat themselves up because they don't follow through on all these things. Good question, though, because here's the thing. If you start something that's good for you and you stop doing it, you do yourself double damage, because you know you were going to school, you were worrying about your health, and you're doing all this other stuff. Then you stop. Then you sit down and beat yourself up about it. Get the likes up, guys. Likes up. And a few people watching the stream. So we can have this conversation tonight in Man Law 101. There are some fundamentals here that we as men need to talk about. Motivation versus discipline. You're exactly right. Can you really have a poor reputation? You're certainly right. Ultimately, it comes down to individual responsibility, accountability for one's actions, ownership of where you're at, and every guy is able to do this. You look at some of the people we hold in the highest regard, whether they're in politics or whether they're in movies, whether they're athletes. We love a rags to riches story. But more than that, we love a story of redemption in this country. We love to build someone up, to tear them down, to watch them come back. That is quintessential Americana. If you are down, you can be built up. And then once you get torn down, it will happen. You rebuild yourself. The world will be there. Hey, there are stories in every culture written about this.
Yeah, make some of the
What
best
we
stories.
need to make it happen is what I was thinking about earlier today. A worldwide fraternity of men. We need like-minded men to be around each other. That's what a fraternity is. It's just a bunch of people who come together who agree about something. You know, I'm in Oklahoma. You're in Australia. You're in Canada. But we can all be brothers and support one another, and it may not be the same as in person, but you need to be around like-minded people to help you get from here to there. That's what's missing a lot for men to be their best versions of themselves. The absence of strong male leadership in every community. Guys, we don't know what the path holds, and we're trying to do it all on our own, by ourselves, and it's hard to do it by yourself. So we're going to add this in to tonight's stream. Remember, tonight, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, Man Law 101. Every guy needs a code. Do me a favor, guys. Invite a friend. Let them know we're going to get into this tonight because we are trying to do what should have been done for all of us as we were coming up. Give us the rules. Give us the fundamentals, the instruction, and let us run with it. Let us become the best versions of ourselves. Till next time, talk to you.
All right. R.I.P. to the GOAT, man. But again, what I love so much about this is that, and at the time, Kevin didn't know where his career was going to go. But within himself, he was still reinventing himself. All right. You can see it clear as day, baby. I mean, what is that painted on his suit right here? Like, oh, is that a handkerchief? But yeah, even though he was coaching men, he was still trying to hone in on his own image, his own style profile that would work best for him. And then over time, his presentation changed. Not only what he talked about, but also his image. The suits got better. The suits got sharper. The lighting improved. The camera quality went up. Like, this is probably just recorded on an iPhone. The audio got cleaner. The microphones got better. He began to refine from a content creation perspective. And again, that's after putting the time in the gym of what are the things that he needed to improve in order to have the perception of authority, to have the perception of quality. And when you have that perception of quality, you tend to attract much more quality people. And that's a little bit of insight as why I went so hard in the upgrade of my studio 6 months ago. I wanted to enhance the quality that I was giving to you guys so I can enhance the quality of the people that wanted to look at what it is that I would present in front of them. But listen, I left the content on my channel still up for you guys to review. So even within here, you can see my own reinvention. You can go see the do-rags I used to wear back into the day. All right, now look at me. I'm getting haircuts every 2 weeks, right? I got new outfits that I'm wearing, right? And that's to, reinvent myself into what I want to be or what I see for myself in the future, because your image is so critically important. And oftentimes you do not get a second chance at making another impression, right? You generally just have a first impression, and people judge what they see even before they want to hear your story or give you the time of day. And it's reflected in every component of life, whether it's in relationships, dating, from a work perspective, right? And honestly, the topic that he's talking about, I guess it's more specific to image, but this is something that will come up even in my corporate America days. And folks used to raise their hand and ask questions in kind of like these talent organization groups about how do you bring components of yourself within to the office in order to represent yourself. And the thing is that your representation is beholden to the culture of that organization. How many degrees or deviations from the norm do you intend on being? If the dress code is formal and you want to be yourself by wearing a hoodie, well, then that's too many standard deviations from the norm. But if the dress code is formal and you want to flare your formal attire up with something to bring it towards your own style, then have at it. But nevertheless, I'm slightly digressing from the main overarching point, which is the importance of reinvention, the importance of knowing who you are, creating a strong message for who you are, deriving experience or upgrading your talent or your experience. And for some of this, you may have to pay for it. It may be a financial cost to it to get that information from somebody that has maybe learned it before. But if you're staying stuck or stagnant and not working towards putting a mirror up to your face and creating the new version of yourself, the one that has the flexibility, the amount of money that you're making, the type of relationships, the type of community that you're in, then what are you doing it for? You cannot allow the stagnation within life to make you feel so comfortable that you're not planning for what your long-term life will look at. Keep on sharpening who you are and the way that you show up to the world, because a dull axe is going to get dull results. But all right, guys, that's all that I got for you here today. Hopefully there's something within the content, whether it be my words or KS's words, that truly put you on a path towards success, towards a path towards just winning in life. I'm already calling it 2026 about to be my year. It's about to be our year, the channel's year. The theme of last year was to amplify and expand. The theme of 2026 is to elevate and differentiate. Hello, how y'all like the ring today? Let me know down up in the comment box down below. I think that that's a strong way to theme 2026. And I thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate your love, support, respect, continuously coming back to the channel, sharing the content. And we're going to take this to a whole nother level. We're going to elevate. All right, guys, let me know what you think down up in the comment box. And I'll see you very, very soon. Until next time, peace.